Yeah, I'll just invite you over. Oh, it is the Morning Brew with Friends on a Monday morning. We got an awesome show. We have our friends Ashley Pino, contestant in the 2015 Miss Indian World competition. And then our friends from Manatee, Albuquerque here, Diana Real and Martha Medina are going to be joining us. And then Steve Westman and Sharon Lucas are here to talk about the Shake It Not Stir It event. I think they even have some high heels for me this morning on the Morning Brew with Friends. Oh, yeah. Well, we're just talking about the Miss Indian World contestant who, it's the coolest competition ever, isn't it?
It is. It's the best.
Right?
You will love it.
And she's been kind of sequestered in the green room back here, and we can't wait to see what she's wearing because the competition dress for these things is just stunning. I can't wait to see what it is.
And diverse.
And diverse. I mean, people from Canada all the way down to New Mexico and east to west coast. It's amazing. I can't wait to see it. It's going to be cool. But first, we got to kick it off this morning with headlines that are brought to us by our friends at the Tony and Guy Hairdressing Academy. And I know you worked at the Hispano Chamber of Commerce for years,
Yes, I did.
And you guys had to be very politically astute over there. And this year, there's been the great debate over the special session.
Yes,
and the
there
capital
is.
outlay. The Senate and the legislature could not get together and pass a capital outlay bill.
they did.
And this is the important money that pays for all of the projects that the state funds throughout the state. And on Friday, I talked to Mayor Hull of Rio Rancho, Greg Hull, and this is fascinating to me. He wanted just 4 police cars and an ambulance. He's got 4 police cruisers in the Rio Rancho PD with like 150,000 miles on them, like cars that should be taxi cabs by now. And because he didn't get capital outlay, they're not getting the cabs, and they don't have an ambulance. And they're kind of in a lurch right now. And so he signed on with 50 other mayors in the state on this giant letter that is going to all the legislators and the governor, pushing everybody to get together for capital outlay. Here in Albuquerque, there's $1 million just downtown right here for the new epicenter, part of the Innovate ABQ thing.
Right.
Which is nuts. So we're going to see, I've been following that. I'm a political junkie. Been following that, and we're going to see what happens. And then also, speaking of Innovate ABQ, the school UNM put out its new RFP, the request for proposals for developers to say, hey, I want to build that. And this is what their vision for downtown looks like. Everything that's lit up in this is the Innovate ABQ Center, and I think that's Albuquerque High on the top leftish part of the screen there, and this is across the street from Albuquerque High on Broadway. It's amazing, some of the photos they have. It looks like the world's coolest shopping mall. It'll be about 15, 20 years before it's done, but it still looks like something I actually can't wait to see happen. You know,
Very
I think
neat.
I'll be an old guy by the time it's actually finished, but it seems like it'll be really neat.
Yes, it will.
And it's going to, but they're still looking for development partners, so we'll see who they pick and we'll see what happens with that. And then this year, I think this is really fascinating. I went to an event the other night where all of the cybersecurity guys in town were talking. People from the new company RiskSense and people from Sandia Labs were there and everything. And you know, a couple years ago, it was the data centers that were getting hacked and the Googles of the world were getting hacked. And then last year, it was the Targets of the world and the other, retailers. This year, they're saying it's going to be the year of the healthcare hack. And healthcare companies better get everything together. Ardent was one of the companies earlier this year that was hacked, and they lost, I think it was $80 million. I mean, 80 million patients' information.
Wow.
And it
Not
just,
good.
right. So this year, they're saying we got to watch our healthcare stuff. There's nothing we can do about it, and it's the worst thing in the world to know that all of our data is out there and it could be vulnerable, but we have no idea how to fix it. You know, and I didn't know this, but you lived in Philadelphia for a while.
Yes, in
So
Philadelphia.
you must be really happy to know that Tim Tebow is now signed to the Eagles. How great is
Eagles.
that? The Eagles. Is there a chant? Is there like a Philly chant, like "Go Eagles"?
It's Eagles.
Eagles, with an I.
Kind of like that.
And Tim Tebow, I've just blew my mind. Like I've seen him. I know he's been around for a long time now as a quarterback.
Yes, yes.
He's only 27.
Amazing.
Right? I was really shocked at that he was only 27, but it's good that he's finally got another team to join in. And this was one of my favorite weekends of the year because I got to watch some of the most awesome rock and roll musicians get inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And we get this is an interesting photo here. This is Joan Jett and Miley Cyrus sharing a moment. Joan Jett, one of my absolute favorites, one of the best guitar players in the world. You know, she's in the Runaways and had her own solo career. But along with her, one of our favorite Beatles, Ringo, got inducted for his solo career. He was the last of the Beatles to be inducted as a solo musician into the Hall of Fame, which is kind of mind-blowing. And then this was really touching. I thought this was great. Bill Withers. Bill Withers has not performed since 1984.
Wow.
When he did, you know, he's the guy behind Lean On Me. There's so many great songs. Lovely Day. I mean, there's so many amazing songs that Bill Withers has done. And he hasn't performed anywhere since 1984. And finally came back for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And this also blew my mind. Band I listened to in high school got inducted, Green Day, on their first try. Well, we'll be back in just a couple of minutes on the Morning Brew with Friends, and we're going to talk about Monad Albuquerque and everything going on with you guys. Sounds like fun.